Okay?
Or number. We'll do
You're going to be right here, and you're going to write target orofacial right there.
Nobody else wrote there.
Now look, so see how he's got gross motor, he's got objects. You need to write orofacial. And then another thing in the target besides orofacial, if you have a specific target, like say you were working on tongue out, orofacial, tongue out, so that they know that that's what your target. So you'd write the format and the item that you're in there in these programs that have multiple formats. Okay? Did I get it right? So you can circle C.
Do this. Do this.
I need some reinforcement. Some good jobs. Some
Good job! Oh, yeah!
Pick him up. Sit chair.
This is worse than yesterday.
Tyler, no.
Do,
Okay, that's good. He's definitely
good job, well played.
Okay, so this is going to be the hardest one right here. Is coming up with names for these. Okay, so hold on. So we got our oral facial, tongue out, and U-E, I think.
TL.
Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so circle C.
Okay.
Good.
Raspberry.
Yeah.
Tongue side to side.
So you can put, no, we did the screaming in the bucket.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, what I'm saying. Tongue side to side, you can do 2 arrows.
Now, most of the time, it's better for them to fill all that stuff out, except the percentage before they do it. If they
I
know
wouldn't
what they're
necessarily
going to
fill it out on here though, because what if he gets one wrong and you had to prompt? It could mess up your order in which you asked. So you might want to write it on a separate piece of paper first, but I wouldn't necessarily write it in here.
Side to side. Well, they're gonna not be able to read mine. And you were correct on
Yep.
all of them.
So what percentage is that?
100%.
Good.
Just look in the closet, his,
probably could
the
introduce
baby's
music
room
as
on the left
100%.
side.
Okay, and then you have to put that percentage somewhere else. Excellent. And then, did I go play when you asked me?
I didn't tell you to go play.
Oh, you did? Yes, you didn't put
Go
anything.
play.
If you didn't, and you just let me go, then don't put it.
I did. I don't think I said go play. Did I? No.
Excellent.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I did. And did you go play? No.
I didn't. I put it incorrect. But then what did you do? Are you going to prompt me? I wouldn't worry about it. Alright, let's see what you did a great job.
See? Woohoo! Good job!
Yay!
Do you want a quick candy?
Surf?
No, I want you to shut up. Surf! You want to surf? No.
Okay.
Dad, give her a surfing net.
Up next we have objects receptive.
Object label.
Uh-huh. You can do it?
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Where'd Tyler go?
Frank took him for a while.
He's gonna take one.
But should I be doing just mass trials with one, or should I be doing with
Well,
a
look
few?
to see what the last person did.
Which-
So let's see. We'll see. So objects, right? We know what our SD is. Give me object, right? Let's see. Apple, cow, frog, and flower are all mastered now.
Okay.
So you could do whatever you want.
So I
You can either run random rotation of those 4, or you could introduce a new. I hope they're in that pile. I don't know if they are.
What if I see Marley? No.
Maybe introducing new.
We're never going to introduce new. We need our expanded trials, right?
What were we looking for?
What doesn't
Was
John
there
know?
a cat in that one?
They're right there next to her.
There they are. Cool, and you know what? We introduced Owl today, so why don't we go do that? And let's pretend like you're trying to expand by 1. And then if you feel lucky, you can expand by 2.
What is that?
Robot's the neutral.
That's the You said owl should be our target.
Yep.
Should I keep them all out on the field or just the one?
I would start there first, and then you can expand your field as you're doing your expanded tries.
Okay.
We can move the binder.
Come here. Good. No.
Oh yeah, Tyler would tear through that.
Yeah, that's probably not the best place for this book.
So sometimes what I like to do is I'll keep it over there so I can kind of glance
Well,
over.
Yeah, we have that other table back to me. When we do it, have that sit on that table, and you can just kind of reach over it.
Yes, that'd be good too, so that it's up here.
Oh, yeah.
Say nice.
He's really giving me a hard time, isn't he?
Yeah.
Trying to relate
Gonna make you put it on the floor.
situation.
Tyler, let's take them.
No, say
I think he's actually better behaved than that.
All right, who's doing the program? You or me?
What?
Who's doing the program? You or me?
Me?
Okay.
Okay. Give me owl. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. I'm like, looking. Yeah, it's right towards me. Give me owl. Thank you. Good. Give me apple. Good. Give me owl. Good. Okay, so
So
that's.
you just want to expand by 1, or you want to go for 2?
Should I try 2?
Yeah, let's go for 2.
No, should I start with the new one or do I go back to owl and start?
Well, Al, you just asked me, so you
Okay.
can go back to the other 2.
Okay. Give me apple. Good job. Okay. Give me cow. No. Give me cow. Good. Give me apple. Give me cow. Good.
So now listen, how many times have you expanded before going back to Al?
Yeah, that's true.
Quite a few.
Okay.
So if there's ever any mishap with like I had with Cal,
Right.
try to get possible. Back to Al.
Go
as
back
soon
to
as-
Al first.
As
Okay.
soon as possible.
I wasn't sure. I
Because
know
really
I
that
wanted to
became
try
2
and-
trials right there.
Okay.
Before I went to Al. Then you come back to Cal.
Okay.
And then do Apple and then back to Al. Okay?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So just know that anytime you had to ask 2 of this one, you've now expanded by 2, so go ahead and go back to Al.
So yeah, I'm gonna start all over. Pretty much. Okay. Give
Is
me owl. Good. Give me cow. Good job. Give me apple. Good. Give me owl. Right, okay, go play.
Alright, awesome. Okay, let's get
No.
the book out over here. See if we can remember this. Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's why I was thinking all the
Gotta
writing.
have that piece of paper.
Yeah, really, you kind of do.
Okay, so I get it right?
Piece of paper.
Come here.
Cool.
And to sit nicely, but
Okay, so now we're in here. So what was our target?
Or.
owl.
Oh.
Good job.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That was the target. Good.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
And so do Al. Right.
Right
Number 1, yeah.
Oh,
And I got that right, right?
yeah. Right.
Yeah. And then what did you do?
We went to apple.
Good. I get that right?
Uh-huh.
Cool.
And then.
Cow.
No, no, no.
No.
You were expanded by 1 the first time
Oh,
you said
And
that.
then
an
I went to
owl.
owl.
Yes, I got that right.
Right. Then
And
we
then
had
you
the
went to
apple.
cow.
Or the cow, yeah.
Yes, and did I get Cal right?
You kind of hesitated at first.
So it was a non-response.
Right.
So non-response we
Incorrect.
treat as incorrect. Yep.
Yeah.
And then you asked me again,
Where did mine go?
and I got it right.
Yeah.
And now you did apple
Right.
when you should have done
Owl.
right.
So I
But apple, that's fine. It would be
Okay.
accurate. And I got apple correct.
right?
And then you went to owl,
Yes.
and I got it correct.
Right.
And then you did apple, cow, and then back to owl.
Right. Oh.
Okay? So, let's see what our percentage is. It was out of 10, which makes it easy. It was 90%.
Water.
Correct.
Yeah.
There's one on the floor.
0% prompted. And this was probably a fluke. So what's the next thing the person should do?
Probably do cow or try.
Well, it was probably a fluke because he got cow right everywhere else. So the next person should try to do what with
Add
owl?
another.
Well,
No.
where you were able to expand by 2.
Right.
So what should the next person try to do?
Try and expand by 3.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
That's what I
So
meant.
next we should expand by 3. Then if they successfully expand by 3, what should they do?
Random rotation.
Random rotation. Then if that's successful, what should the next person do?
Introduce.
Yeah, something
Yes.
new.
Yeah, exactly. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Robot.
All
And then I
right.
have to do this.
Cool. And we haven't been doing this too much just because it gets redundant, but always put the date and your initials, okay? At the top here it says date and instructor.
90%.
I mean,
Just so if someone's screwing up, we can point a finger at them at the next workshop. All right, great job. That's awesome. All right. Cool. Let's see what's next here on our list. All right, play skills, which we haven't really discussed too much. Should give me a puzzle that this is what he's on right now. These floor puzzles are probably difficult for him.
Yeah.
Are there any tray puzzles that he hasn't had mastered yet?
I already have.
Have you ever seen they're like this, but they're like 25-piece ones?
Yeah, I have.
You ever seen, and they're
They're
interlocking?
boards.
Yeah, and they're interlocking. See,
I
we have
have
these
it.
don't interlock.
Yeah,
They're more like those, but they're still on a tray.
they're still on a tray.
They're great. They're
Okay.
great to use.
Are they always wood or are they maybe plastic?
So-
Maybe that's what I'm.
Some are like this. Some are
paper.
yes,
right?
some are like a cardboard.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see like this inside here will be the shape
The
of
jigsaw.
the yes, yes.
Okay.
You
No.
seen those?
No, I
Okay.
haven't. But
Okay,
we
that's
can
what
find
I would do probably before introducing those.
some. Okay.
Because anything that doesn't have a tray is probably a lot trickier.
Look, they have trays. There's just 3 of them in there.
Oh, and they do have trays.
Bring one down.
Oh, that's
Shelby.
probably
I
it.
haven't actually done.
Oh, I bet you that's one of them right there.
Evil.
That's not a good place to.
Sesame
Which one?
Street. Maple?
I haven't actually
That
done
looks like just a big box.
ground wood.
Oh, these are kind of cool.
But like,
It's a puzzle on top of a puzzle on top of a puzzle.
yeah.
Right.
Well, like,
There's
so
some
maybe
a little
just a
simpler
small-
than this.
Okay.
Yes. Probably
But
a little
like-
bit very similar to this though, but like I said, when you take the piece out, you'll be able to see the shape of the piece in there.
Okay.
Those ones are great. But he does these, right?
I don't. Is he doing those all by himself?
He
Because
can.
we only actually started doing them a couple weeks ago.
Okay, cool.
prefers
So
it
check
if
it
we
out.
do it.
I'm gonna show you the best way to teach a puzzle.
Okay.
Okay. It's called the backward chain.
Okay.
Okay. So, do puzzle.
That's what
Uh,
there we go.
Great job! That was awesome! That was awesome! Do puzzle! Very nice. I like that. That was awesome. Okay, do puzzle. Very good. Awesome. You see how it works?
Yeah.
the reverse.
Yes. The reason why, and we do a lot of things like this, self-help skills are great to do like this. Like putting your pants on, having to do the last piece instead of having to do the first piece and then prompting all the way through the end of it, which would be how this puzzle would go. You'd end up having to prompt all. Plus, you can reinforce sooner, and you're reinforcing the completion of the task. Whereas, if you had to start this thing and teach it like this, you would say, do puzzle, and they put it in, good job! What are you really reinforcing?
Prompting.
To do just one thing.
Right. Which this is fine that you're doing one thing, but you're reinforcing the puzzle's completion. Does that
Okay.
make sense to
Yeah.
everybody?
Yeah.
So we use a backward chain to teach puzzles. Okay?
The way I taught it was I put in one, give him one piece, and then I put one piece. And
Right, which is cool. Which is cool. Now the main thing that we want to do probably on these puzzles is number the back here. so that we know which piece is on acquisition as these puzzles get more complex. Does that make sense? Okay. This goes there. Let's see how good I can do this.
I hate puzzles, so
I like puzzles.
I let Aunt Shelby do the puzzle thing.
That's bad. Alright, there we go. Okay, so like this would be piece number 1.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Okay, so once he consistently does that across 2 people, you're fine. I bet you're probably going to be able to move pretty fast
Oh,
through
he can
these.
do that already.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Put a mouse up the other
Cool.
day, he can do that.
The main thing is that he's able to do it, and he's able to do it without engaging in self-stimulatory behavior and stay on task throughout the puzzle. Not that he does a couple pieces and then leaves the table. So what you're going to want to do is have mastered puzzles for his downtime activity, but a more difficult puzzle on acquisition.
Okay.
That you actually call him over to the table, work on that puzzle using backward chain procedure, and take data on it. Okay? So basically, it would be puzzle number 1 when you took the data, C, I, or P. Right? And then once that's mastered, then it'd be puzzle piece 1 and 2. And does that make sense? And then when he's able to consistently get those in until he's able to do the whole puzzle. Once he's able to do the whole puzzle on his own, then it becomes a free time activity. Go
Okay.
play, and he goes and does it on his own. That's your job now to introduce a new puzzle during your table time. And that's a program in itself, just like color matching, receptive object labels, and all of that. It's teaching him new things. And you're going to have 2 formats in there. One is going to be puzzle, one is going to be task completion activities.
Okay.
So stringing 10 beats, potato head, all of those things. And only have one thing on acquisition at a time. Once that activity is mastered, then he can do it as a free time activity.
Okay.
Okay, does everybody get that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay. So, I think that there's not much left. Okay, so see I have puzzles and task completion. So, he would get a percentage, obviously, for that, just like he could get a percentage. And the same thing with task completion activities. And if your goal is to have him string 10 beads, and you're starting out with there being 9 beads already on there, he's just got to string the last piece. I don't know if he needs to go that far, but you know what I'm saying? Reduce the task and make it so that he can be the most successful, and then increase the complexity of that task. Okay, with Potato Head, maybe the whole thing's done, he just has to put on the nose. But I watched him do it today. He did really well with it. It's just a matter of, when you say, your ultimate goal is to be able to say, do Potato Head. And he sits there, puts all the pieces on. And then, what we eventually want to teach him to do, which we'll probably get into this next month, is once he does complete it, he takes it all apart and puts it away. Okay?
And then a big thing with Potato Head is the stuffing.
Yes, yes.
So I want to make it where he can do the Potato Head without.
Right, and so we'll probably work on that at the table.
Okay.
And if you give him the nose, and he wants to go stuff it in the back, it's no. Have him do it again, he does it again, no. And then he puts it on. And then, good job, follow problem child by non-problem child. Good job. And then increase how many pieces you expect of him without doing this. So treat it just like a discrete trial. Okay?
So I had to actually take the backs and hide them because he wanted to put everything in there and us to close the back.
Well, that's how they sometimes come, though, also.
I
Right,
I
yeah.
know.
Yep, he's organizational, like his mom. He wants to clean it all up. Okay, the next one is receptive instructions.
Yes.
Who wants to do that?
What are you looking at me like that?
Good job, son.
Jeff,
Well,
Dad, you gonna do that? Who's gonna- Oh.
Shelby got it.
So you gotta look it up in there.
Shelby.
what are we doing?
Receptive instructions. And the book is in alphabetical order. Cool. So right here on this reverse side tells you what to do. So right now it's gross motor receptive instructions. What's the SD?
Production.
Instruction or action. So you're not going to say do this, so it's not imitation.
So this?
Hmm?
No.
What are you going to do?
Clap.
Good. You're just going to say clap.
Okay.
Right, and then we turn to this page, and we see, we know that he can clap, and he can jump, and wave is what's on acquisition. So clap, 19, 2006. This is definitely mastered. 2006. Okay. So we know that clap is mastered. We know jump is almost mastered. It looked pretty good today, but there were some discrimination issues with wave. So what you want to do is target what?
Wave.
Good. So go ahead and put your target right there. And what do you want to do with wave?
Get him to do it.
Get him to do it?
No.
Good. You want to do an ET, right?
Yeah.
You want to try to do expanded trial, so your target is ET. Good.
Come here. Good job. We're doing the same way.
Yeah.
Clap. Good job.
So usually what I would do, I guess if he's not really paying attention, that's fine. You could do one that you know he knows. But if your target is wave, try to start with that one.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Wave. No. Wave. No. Wave. Good job. Wave. Good job. Jump. Good job. Sit back down. No. Sit. No. Sit. Oh. Good job. Clap. Good job. Wave.
Yup. Pack it up. Get out.
No. Wave. No. Wave. Good job. Wave. Good job. Go play.
Awesome. Okay, so why do you think when I came back and you went to clap and then you went back to wave, why do you think I got wave wrong?
Wait, what was the question?
Okay, so after I jumped and then I came back, you had me clap. And
Because
then
I
you-
didn't go over waves.
Right. So just think, you had to give me a couple instructions over here to get me to the chair. Right when I sat down, I would have tried to do wave again because there had already been a long time past. Okay, so just remember that. Whenever time happens, try to get back to that target as soon as possible.
Okay.
Okay, so wave. Good. You don't have to write it again. You can just write I again. And then what did you do? Good, and then unprompted, right? And I got it. So C right there. Good, and then what'd you do?
Jump.
Okay. Got that right?
And I did clap.
Yeah.
And then the wave. And I didn't.
You did prompt, yeah, and then I got it correct. Good. Now, were you able to actually do an expanded trial here? No, you weren't able to expand by one, huh?
No.
So you always had to do the prompt and then follow your prompt by an unprompted trial, so you weren't able to expand by one. So what should you tell the next person?
Expand by one.
Yes. Okay, does that make sense? She tried to, didn't work, but the next person should try to follow up on that and get an expansion by one. Okay. 4 out of 10, which is what?
40%.
Good. And how many times is there a prompt? So 20%. Awesome. Now 40 and 20 equals what?
80. No, whoa.
Good. So did you do your job?
No.
Did you prompt enough? It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. You want to try to have your correct and your prompt equal 80, but it's not always going to happen. But we're going to try our best to have that happen, okay? All right, so where do you put this 40% at?
Place. No. Task.
No, not task completion.
This one.
No. Yeah, receptive instructions. There you go. And if you notice, Mom, because you're going to be doing that update sheet for me, which I'll email to you too. If you notice that a program is under 80%, then what I would like is for you to also, and this is difficult to do, but to go and you'll have to go through the weekly things and figure out what the prompt percentage total is. so that I can see that is he just really wrong at 40%, or are we at least prompting, or was there a lot, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part,
If something's not being done correctly, you mean?
exactly.
Okay.
Well, not necessarily be done correctly, but I need to see if something says he's at 40% for the whole month. I want to make sure that everybody else is prompting at least 40% of the time.
Okay.
Because I don't want it to be unsuccessful that much in a program. There needs to be a lot of prompting going on. So I want to at least be able to say in my workshop report, he's at 40%, he's at 80% of this with 40% requiring prompts. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Okay.
Okay.
You want any water, John?
Okay. Alright, the next one on here is just called reinforcement sampling. Okay? There's no data for this in this section, probably just going to be a notebook piece of paper. Okay? And what I want you to do is sometimes call him over, and if he comes over good, I want you to just go through a bunch of reinforcers. And I'm going to give you a list of all the fun physical reinforcers, and if you bring your duffel bag of reinforcers, just to go through and see what he likes, what he kind of pushes away, and I just want you to know whether he liked it or not, and list some of the ones that he liked. It's kind of just a fun time for him to come on the chair, test out some things, have a good time with him, build a rapport with him, and then let him go play. Okay?
Now, since we've been using the toys and the social stuff, are we not going to use food?
I don't think we need to.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I don't think we need
I don't think food would help him.
to. I probably would work for it, but I think that it would be below his skill level.
He works for it,
Yeah.
but
I think it'd be below his skill level. You know, later on, if we're doing some shadowing on the playground with him, and we need him to go play with a friend or something like that, we might have the skill in there. Okay, I'm gonna go play with that. You know, but we can do that kind of stuff too. But for now, I don't think that.
okay, okay.
All right. So the next one that we had after reinforcement sampling, and note that there's just, and there doesn't even need to be a current item list in here. So this is another one that if you wanted to.
Okay.
But here it's just notebook paper, and you would just write whether he liked it or didn't like it.
Okay.
Okay? And really, this is just for the tutors to go back and see, oh, I haven't done that one before. And the thing that I email you, you can just put right in here, and they can go and try some of those physical reinforcers too.
Okay.
Like the Laundry Basket Airlines or Harry Potter broom and stuff like that.
You know what we did with that Harry? We had an actual Harry Potter broom. Do we even have it anymore?
Yeah, it's in the garage.
We hid that sucker. It went into hiding because it was
We
just
broke it, he
so.
flew on it so much.
Yeah, it was so bad.
The next one is shapes receptive. Who wants to do that?
Does everybody, I'm just curious, does everybody go through, or...
In order?
In every session?
You
Like
want to
every
try to get
3
through as many
hours?
programs in
Every
that 3 hours. You might not, though.
Yeah.
What if you have a day where he doesn't really feel like doing it? You might have some behaviors. You might be in a program a little longer. You want to try to. I'm going to try to keep your program load to a manageable amount for 3 hours, but you're not always going to get through every program. That's why the next person who comes should go, oh, this program wasn't hit. I'll do that one first. Does that make sense? And then go through the rest of the programs. But I'm giving you, I think I gave you 10 programs, and each program had a couple formats. I think you'll be okay.
Okay.
I gave you enough that's manageable for the hours that he's going to be getting for this first one.
Okay.
Especially because a lot of the stuff that we're doing anyways, he's got. The matching stuff, you're going to be able to fly through that. Teaching receptive object levels at this point is going to be a lot of probing and seeing what he knows versus what he doesn't know before you even start teaching him anything. And note, when you probe something, you could put a bunch of stuff out on the table and say, give me. And if he doesn't, just put it over in the pile to introduce. If he does give it to you, then go ahead and put it over in the master pile. And that's how you can just probe through as many things. And you might want to do that before you get people started.
Even if he just does it once, you think it's mastered
Well,
enough?
you could just put probe and not put it over here.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Alright.
Just test, though. You're going to know
I'm pretty
whether...
sure that I know which ones. I thought I knew
New shapes, but it's also a
he
different
can match
presentation
the
of shape.
shapes.
Yes.
We haven't.
No
I don't
problem.
think we've done the give me shapes.
Right,
We've
right.
done the give me color and the give me on the objects, but not shapes.
Okay. So this is going to be a new thing for him. So we're going to be doing the mass trial, block trials, and then expand the trial and random rotation. Okay. So it's just a little bit more systematic introduction if he hasn't had any exemplars in there yet.
Okay.
But obviously you had to teach him some objects and some colors, so he is able to get past that initial discrimination.
Okay.
Okay, so we don't have anything listed, so I'll just
Well-
start. We're gonna learn circle.
Beautiful.
And
Beautiful.
this be my neutral one.
Okay,
Eventually.
so you just want to mass trial circle and then get it in the presence of a neutral. That's what you want to do?
Okay,
That sounds good.
I'm gonna just start by writing circle here.
Right, which is what I introduced today anyways. Introduce date. Good job. Good job. Okay.
Okay. Come here. Ah, that's it. Give me circle. Good job. Give me circle. Great job. Give me circle. Great job. Give me circle. No. Give me circle. Good job. Give me circle. Good job. Give me circle. Good job. Give me circle. Good job, little bye.
All right. All right. Did you get my come here?
Let's see.
Okay,
Perfect.
Cool. Go play.
Good play. Good.
Okay.
This is shape perceptive. Thank God for one.
Thank you very much. So, circle, and what were you doing with circle? You either put intro or you put MT for mass trial. Both mean the same thing. Okay?
The first 3 times.
Right. And just know too, if you're going to stay consistent with it, you don't have to keep writing it, because the minute that you change to something else, you're going to know.
Yeah.
Okay? Alright, so then what did you do?
Okay, and then
So you were working on circles, so now you can put with
okay,
ND, which was triangle. Okay?
okay. Is it the first time? Oh, okay. The first time is incorrect.
Yes. And what did I do?
Gave both.
Right, so gave both. Okay, so what did you do?
Is it called outside?
I moved it back.
Cool. So what's that called?
It's called
Problem. So and you can put, I believe it's in here, but let's see.
Who's over there, Tyler?
For abbreviations,
Dad.
we have our...
And jump off.
Not in there. Okay, well you can put POS for positional prompt. But neutral. Okay, add all the prompts. Oh, right here. POS, I was right.
Okay.
POS. So that's the positional
You
prompt, so
smell
you know
like
what kind that is.
outside.
And then you did another positional prompt where it was here, remember?
Okay.
So that's the prompt. Good, good. And then you have it in the same.
You guys look at the plan.
And then I got it right, right?
My
And
dad
then you
said
switch it and I
no,
got
it's
it
gonna
right.
take us a little bit of practice.
Yeah.
Same.
It's harder than
I know.
Alright, it doesn't have to be, that's okay. Because you know it's not a prompt.
that you're accurate.
Once it says no prompt here, then you just go to the right hand side.
No, that's enough.
otherwise.
So here was a positional prompt, and now that it's in the same field, then you just got to correct it. Wouldn't be a P anymore.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So you got C, and then you switch to the right again. So
The
then
Tyler Show.
and if you want, you can. Yeah, no.
Like the Shanna
And
Show.
if you want, you can put your circle. We know it's mass trial, so we pretty much know
don't remember the song that he's trying to show.
Do-do-do-do.
So let's see how we did.
No, not Elmo's World.
6 out of 8. No, 5 out
World.
of 8. 5 out of 8.
What's our calculator at?
Okay, do that. And then how many times did you prompt? Okay, so 2 out of 8.
20.
This one's harder than.
28%. So where do you need to put this? Oh, what should you put for next?
All done. All done.
Should we introduce new, or we have to actually do some prompting in there so the next person try to do circle with the neutral, or?
Yeah, I'd probably start from there again.
Excellent. Excellent. Circle with neutral then. So you wouldn't start here, right?
Yeah, I would start it with.
Yeah, maybe start like this and then fade this in right away. Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool cats.
62%.
Water? Water?
Awesome. Okay, the last one's verbal imitation. We didn't really have a chance to do that with the little guy today,
Cold?
but we did do some oral motor stuff, which is the tongue out and stuff. This is the one, and we're going to pretty much start out with probably elongated vowel sounds. They're usually pretty easy. If you find those to be difficult, we can also go with multiples of consonants, so the bu and stuff like that. But A and O and E, those are probably going to be the easiest to start out with. Okay, and we can use our bucket for this. What's the SD going to be?
Say.
Good. So say O.
Oh.
Good. What's he got his coat on for? Was he outside?
Yeah, he's outside.
He looks so cute, his little hood on. Okay. Can I borrow him for a minute?
Yeah.
Try this out?
Oh yeah. Please.
Please do.
Give
us a break.
Please.
I want one of these pictures. You know that thing that you have?
What
It's on-
picture?
You know that big thing you made in high school and it's got all those black and whites of all over town?
One
of the pictures are missing.
We need to get
What
a
are the pictures? What the heck did you do with it?
You are
I
awesome!
just took it off.
You are awesome! 3, 2, 1. Hi! Hi! I got chicken wings. I got them. Alright, are you ready? Here we go. Say E. Try again. Say E. Good trying. Good try. Say O. Good try. Good try. Stay there. Stay there. Ooh, check this out. Check this out. You ready? Say O. Oh, that was awesome. Awesome. Ready? Here we go. Say E. Oh, that was amazing. You ready? Say A. Good try. Good try. Say A. Good trying, dude. I like that. I like that. You ready? Last one. Here we go. Say O. Go play. Go play.
Good boy.
Oh, I'm taking you back. I'm taking you back. Alright, so everybody see how it works? Okay. This one, we want to make sure that he's really successful. Okay, so we don't say a whole lot of no's. Everything is pretty good. Okay? It's probably a little bit more challenging to take data on this program just because right now we're going to accept a lot of approximations.
John, if you want
But
to move a
if
little
he
bit.
says it really, really good, that's a correct.
Okay.
Okay? If he says it marginally, it's an incorrect. Okay?
Okay.
There's no way to prompt.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Where's the baby?
Downstairs.
You come over here.
That's what's
But what you can use is oral motor to prompt some of these types of things. So, like for the E sound, if he was having difficulty, you could say, do this.
Yeah.
Good. Say E, because that's what the mouth does. Versus, do this. Good. Say oh, like that, and use some of that NVI stuff to get some of that stuff going on.
Whose Pepsi is that?
I don't know. It's on it now.
It's his.
It's shared Pepsi now.
Hey, dude, come here. Oh, look at that, dude. Oh no, don't fall. Oh, don't fall. Oh, don't fall. Are you ready? Here we go. Say O. Good. Say E. Good. Say apple. Good job. That was awesome. Say apple. Good job, dude. Say go. Go. Go play. Get out of here. Get out of here. All right, so you see how it works? So I started with some sounds, and then once I got some behavior momentum going, I went in and threw in some words that I've heard him say, and then he said those right, and I was able to reinforce him for imitating me. And the more he does that and receives reinforcement for it, the more we'll be able to prompt some of these expressive responses. Okay? So let's see here. I'm going to write down the ones that he said really good.
Apple.
Let's see. This is the long E sound. He did good. The long O sound. He did good. And go. He did awesome.
And you didn't do well on the A.
No, which is hard. If you think about it, there's two sounds in A. It's got like an E at the end of it. It's like A. It's really weird. It's really weird. So what you might want to try is the soft A in that sense. So ah versus ah. And no E and soft E and soft I is difficult.
Okay.
Eh and eh. They're really tricky, you know. But ooh, those ones are good. Stuff like that. Then what you're going to want to do is start putting these vowels with a consonant. So then you got eat and ate and oat and things like that.
And me.
Huh?
You could say and. And I could say.
So I'm going to say from verbal imitation that E, and you know the long E has the line over it and the long O has the line over it. If it's a soft sound, it's got a
That little
U
circle
over
thing.
it.
Oh, the U.
Yes.
I'm thinking
Okay,
Spanish.
and then I put go here too. Okay? Who wants to give this a try? I'm going to go ahead and let you do it from here with him, and then also fill this out when you're done. It looks like he likes the microphone.
Teacher,
Melissa, you wore the red dress to homecoming, right? And
She got up and went over and sit down.
Tyler, come here. No,
not here.
Yeah! Yeah! So much improvement just in just amazing. Amazing. Look at him.
say A.
Oh! Alright, go ahead and put that one down.
He's looking at him real quick.
Say
He might not have heard. Oh, he did! Yeah!
E. O.
Yeah! Very nice!
Go.
Go play! Get out of here! Go play, dude! Go home! Get out of here! Alright, so on Go Play, we got a good prompt. Alright,
Okay.
so.
No, I'm done here. So
Yeah.
target was.
Oh, shoot! You okay?
He's not bleeding.
Okay, so target was really, we were just probing.
Okay.
We weren't really targeting anything specific, right? We were just probing some things. That's okay sometimes too when you're put for your target, if you're just trying some stuff out, you can just put poke.
Okay. I actually did A first.
Yes, and he got
That's
it.
the long
Yes,
one,
that
right?
was a long A.
Correct on first response.
Yep.
And then I did E.
Yep, and it was a long E, right? Yep.
Correct. O. Correct. Go. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So next, do we want to introduce or just random
I would probably say continue to probe, but anything probed should go on this list. Because this is the only program, I mean, you're going to probe through the consonants, probe through the vowels, probe through short words, and things like that. And the ones that he has, go ahead and mark them out, so the other ones that we can put aside and then introduce systematically.
Now, is this an imitation or do we need to be saying say? I don't know. Does it say
It
on
says
the...
say.
Okay, so... Okay. All right.
But I noticed that you did it without, and he did fine with that too.
Okay.
So if
Now,
you
which
notice
one's
that he
more-
starts saying say, then
Uh-huh.
we'll drop it.
Okay.
But for now, he wasn't.
All right.
And if you notice, I didn't say the say in the microphone. I said say, oh!
Okay,
That's
uh-huh.
how I do it.
Okay.
But if someone came up to you and went, E, would you know what to do? Not really. No. So we got to,
Okay.
you know, we want him to have typical interactions here. So it's
Okay.
kind of funny. All right. So where do you put this 100% at? This awesome 100%? Cool. And then did he come here on the first try?
Sure did?
Did
No, second try.
he? Okay. So it's I and then correct.
I was trying to give him too much credit there, and then we had to
I
prompt
prompted
him
it. Yeah, I got that already.
Okay.
All right, so now your session's over. We got through every program. We need to come up with a percentage for this, and then we need to put that on the compliance one.
So we've got 19 total.
Well, that's what you told her. She
So
needs to get
1,
calculated.
2,
Well, I could do. I
3,
can.
5, 6,
On
spreadsheet
Excel,
would do it.
I can do
10, 11, 12.
what's 1 through 5. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, up 5, all the way through like 15. Have it and just like
Do it
stick
all.
that on the
Go to
clipboard itself. Someone can just flip back and look through it.
Well, he says there's one that
Yeah.
the clip itself is there.
Yes, the calculator's right up here as part of the clip. It's pretty neat.
Yeah. I'm just it breaks. Tyler destroys it.
It's got to go
So,
in that corner up there.
Now on the math,
Hi.
maybe I just didn't get this before. He's got 12 correct, 6 incorrect, and 3 prompted. Do we just deal with the 12 and the 3?
Yes, so your prompt would be here.
Okay, so 3 out of 19. What's 12 out of 19%? What's
12
12? You know what I'm saying? What's the
12 out of
percent?
19.
Yes.
I got a calculator right here. Let's check it out.
Well, that's right. We got a calculator on my phone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we all have
They
to.
just don't
Well,
work
you have a
very good.
razor phone.
no, they don't. Percentage-wise, they don't. Do they?
Yeah, all you have to do is 12 divided by
Get some
19 or
tools,
19
right?
divided
Office
by 2.
tools?
Yeah. You can-
Probably it
That's the
goes.
problem, finding out where
It's
they
around 55 or 50%, something like that.
That's more than 50%.
Okay, what do we want here? 12 divided by 19?
Mhm.
I don't have division in my phone.
12.
Jeff, we're gonna have to get that blind fixed because this is brutal.
I know. Next time.
Tyler,
get it fixed.
so it hangs.
Yeah,
Even
probably
worse than that
probably
one. I
be
think there's
cheaper
something wrong with
down
that one
here
now
than
too,
it is
Jeff.
to
Well,
get this
that one's been broken for a long time.
63%?
And the prompt was 3.
Okay.
3 out of what?
19.
Oh, that's
Like
It's 1.
3 divided by
and a 10
19.
somewhere.
15%.
Oh, I was right.
And then
Also, then where? Yeah, and then you do the same thing. How many for that one?
We've got 11 total. We've got 10 out of 11. And 1 out of 11.
Okay, so 10. Okay, let me lower. Let's someone calling here while I do this. 90%?
You could get 2 cups with a string.
I mean, it's gonna come out
Exactly.
70%.
Just like we used for this.
Uh-oh.
Tin cans.
There's gonna be like 7%.
What?
Okay, so
and
then
this is
here.
nice. We didn't address it.
We didn't
Did we
address
write
it at
that, as in the comments didn't
Yeah, meow.
address.
Sure.
Okay. But I'm sure with Tyler, we'll probably have to address it at
Yes,
some point.
yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay, and then, so under compliance, you have come here,
Okay.
which
so
was
here,
60.
63. Okay, go pray.
90. Cool.
Thanks. Okay. And the other thing that I was wondering while we're doing the paperwork, at least for a while, it's going to take us some time
Yes.
to learn it. As far as him having a structured activity, I can't imagine him sitting through something without being.
Okay, so
You
what
know,
you might want to
someone's
do
sitting
is,
there.
and have him have the activity pretty close to you so you go, no, keep going, buddy, keep going. And then maybe what you can do is vary. Maybe between one program, you have him go to the floor and do an activity. Between the next one, maybe have him come back over here and do the activity at the table, so that while you're doing this, you have a little bit more control until you get better off at it. But I just want to make sure he gets out of this chair sometimes, so don't do that every time. But have him be close to you with his activity, and then sometimes maybe even in the chair with his activity.
And I also think for the tutors and us, having only one thing at a time probably will help for a
Yes,
while because
absolutely.
he's very much
Yes.
used to doing whatever he wants
Right.
as far as his free play.
Right.
So he'll go and he'll play with something for just a second, then he'll come over here. So, I mean, it'll just be a mess.
And any time in this
otherwise.
beginning that you're able to double up on him,
Uh-huh.
the better. So
Okay.
like if you got a tutor coming up here and you want to come help out for a little bit, or dad wants to come out for a little
Okay.
bit, or Shelby's here and she wants to come help out for a little bit. The
Uh-huh.
more overlap that you guys have with each other, the more you'll be able to be consistent.
Okay.
I'd also recommend too, there's only 2 people that work here on your team. That's going to be your Matt and Alana, and then probably Shelby. But is to maybe even have them get together once a week for an hour,
Okay.
just so they can talk about things. We call those clinic meetings. Just to be able to be on the same page, since you only get together once a month. It's kind of hard if you're only seeing each other once a month.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay. You live pretty close to here?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
No.
So like just an hour a week or something, get together and talk about if there's any problem. And at that time, if you want to give me a call, if you guys have any concerns, I'd be up for answering questions at that time too. Okay. All right, so everybody gets all this? We did that pretty good. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is, since we kind of tainted all of these, is pull, yeah. Okay? But all of these, pretty accurate so far. What we've introduced, pretty much filled them in on the ones that we've actually tested.
Whatever, you still want to play with that toy.
It goes off automatically.
She's over there hitting with her foot. Go on, hurry up.
So what's it called, how did we introduce puzzles? Does anyone remember the procedure?
You do one piece at a time.
Backward,
Good.
backward.
Good. The last piece first, right? And then the last 2 pieces, last 3 pieces, and so on.
I
You can also
remember
do that with little Goofy right here. If you're working on it, have it all together, and maybe he just puts on the ears,
like
you know, and stuff like that. Okay. I don't think he's probably gonna need to do that necessarily with Potato Head. He's probably just gonna need some supervision and do it at the table for a little while. And just know that if it's something that you know he can do, and you have him do it at the table, and say he starts trying to put him in the back of it, it's no, and then he's got to start completely over. Okay? I promise you only needs to have that happen a couple times before he's like, all right, I'll just... Had a kid get through like a 63-piece puzzle and then stim on the piece. And have to start over, man. Well, he's just like, all right. He just had to get it in there.
These are neat dividers. I've never used these kind of.
I have. There's no-
I love them. For our older kids too, we teach organizational skills. So for them, we use this as work to be done and work completed side. So they pull out their worksheet, they do it, and then they turn it over and put it in the all done side, which is kind of nice.
Isn't that how you do them, Shelby?
That's it.
Yes, sir.
The way to do it.
I'm just keeping this picture and I'm going to show Mommy. Revenge.
Read it. I'll forget to take these out.
This
I
one
gotta
here?
do it now.
I think this one.
Yeah, the one on the table.
Hey, just write down your email address there. And this one right here, I'm just gonna actually take.
Oh,
with
you
me.
know what? We did this with him, so I'm gonna keep that. Would that be alright?
Yeah,
Keep
that's
it in
great.
there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Go ahead and keep that in there. Oh, is this?
Bring
I
it.
want to take this.
It won't do nothing to hurt.
Oh, yeah?
Okay?
Yeah,
They're
that's
not
fine.
real percentages.
Oh, okay.
But if you want to put his 100% on his most recent verbalization and actually put the real date on there.
Okay.
There's a spring in them. Also, isn't there a spring in these?
I
One
don't know
works
how it
better
works.
than the other.
Hello.
This one works better.
Oh, duh. That one's
So I'm probably going to email you this too.
Okay.
And I will
No.
actually go ahead and take off the 3D to 2D matching. I'm just going to take those off of there altogether.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
3D and 3D to 2D are really prerequisite steps to 2D. If he's doing 2D already, it's kind of like,
Hello.
and like I said, I was going to start under skill level, but he's doing that so well, we might as well
Okay.
just pick up where he's the most successful at, which is awesome. 2D is actually a harder task.
Okay.
Can't you hear the spring in it?
Why is 2D a harder task?
2D to 3D.
Because they're not they're just